What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. As you can tell, back in the studio, and this is going to be a late night upload. I need to get this done. I've been traveling a lot. Now I'm traveling again because we got the Ball is Life OTD pay-per-view coming up, but we're gonna try to get this video out. I've been waiting to do this breakdown video, but the matchups were changing for a while, and then once they got set, I was traveling, and I didn't want to give you guys the same Zoom meeting quality that I gave you my last couple videos. Okay, so you're getting the real sit down. The way I'm going to break this down, we'll talk about each matchup briefly. Just remember, we've only got about 150 one-on-one games on the channel, which means I'm still a rookie at this. Okay, I'm still learning all the players, but I'm doing my best. I think I got a pretty good grasp, especially on the matchups we're seeing. Definitely done my homework. Definitely made sure I watched these guys quite a bit once we learned what the matchups were. So first off, we want to get to what I think is sleeper game of the night. I'm super pumped for. We got Darnell Rogers and Left Hand Dom. The reason being, some of the most exciting basketball in the one-on-one space, it's small guards. I don't care what anyone says. Like, no one wants to watch people back each other down. No one wants to watch post players, but everyone loves flashy small guards. I feel like Dom was his trajectory in the one-on-one space could have gone two completely different directions. He was, from what I first saw of him and going back and seeing some of his earlier games, he was really a very emotionally driven player, which that can be like your gift and your curse. But Left Hand Dom has turned it into a strength. I know there's some games that haven't come out yet that I probably can't talk about. Hopefully they come out soon so you guys can see it. But his growth from some of the first games I watched, then seeing him in person for the first time, I think it was in LA, the energy that he brings to the scene. He reminds me of Cam a little bit from TNC, that like, if you don't have a Dom, if you don't have a Cam in the gym, like sometimes that energy can just be dead. But Dom can get the energy going straight away. But, you know, rarely can people just turn it on and turn it off. And Dom can do that. The difference is he doesn't turn it off very often, which is, I think, a good thing. He's improved a ton. I think he's, man, in a month and a half, in a 2-month span, he's got to be one of the most improved players. He's refined his game a ton. I just watched him play Trey on Ball is Life, one of the twins. And you could see during the game, if you go watch my breakdown, that's going to come out in a couple days, he is learning throughout the game. He's adjusting throughout the game. And I think that speaks a ton to a player's experience in the one-on-one space. So that's what I think about Dom. That's his initial breakdown. Obviously, I know a lot more about Dom than Darnell Rogers, just in this scene anyways. Just because Darnell Rogers, I've only seen him play one game, and that was against Jay Lou, actually. I remember when my first initial reaction, seeing the height difference, watching that game, I was like, well, Jay Lou's probably going to win. Like, it's going to be much easier for him. 5 minutes into that game, I was blown away by Darnell Jackson, the way he plays. You can tell he is a D1 athlete. The way he plays, how efficient he plays, straight line drives, and you guys know I'm a fan of straight line drives. He's so efficient, and at that height, I think he's like 5. Is he 5'2"? I hope I'm not undershooting it. I think he's like 5'4", 5'2", 5'4". This guy can go, like, he can hoop, and you can tell he's been playing against athletes. He's been playing against guys that are taller than him his whole life, and he knows like, he's always going against someone taller. So it's not a shock to him when he gets in the game and he's like, how am I going to get my shot off? He already knows what he's going to do. He knows how to create space, and I actually think it works. It almost works to his advantage. Everyone underestimating him and saying, like, thinking it's going to be easy. And then he just plays extremely efficient, just a high IQ player, really excited. And also, both of these guys are extremely strong, especially for their size, like pound for pound, but just in general. Like, I've seen Left Hand Dom, I kid you not, I'm not making this up. You guys know I over exaggerate sometimes. Picked a guy up with one hand and he just sat him on the ground. He picked him up with one arm, sat him on the ground. Just big manned him. And same thing, Darnell playing against Jay Lou, like, he was moving him quite a bit, especially in the air, creating space. So I'm excited for that game. I don't do score predictions often. I think they're good for betting, overs and unders. I don't think they're great I think a win is a win. I have man, this is a big game for both of them. I think if Darnell Rogers wins, it's really going to cement him in the one-on-one space and just shows like, oh, this guy's here. He's going to be one of the top small guards like for for a good while. But if Dom wins, it just shows his trajectory over the last couple months, and I think it's going to be a huge game for both of them. I think I got to give the edge to Dom. Again, it's just having experience in the one-on-one space I think is invaluable. And again, I don't want to bet against the guy. I don't like betting against a guy who's got a proven track record over like what Dom has over the last couple months. And what I mean by that is experience. I don't mean like he's beating all the top 10 players. It just, you get reps under your belt against Darnell Rogers, who doesn't have those same reps. So I'm going with left-hand Dom. Next breakdown, let's go with, looking on my screen over here, we'll go Ty Lawson and Nesco. Because I don't need to say a whole lot about this one. I think we watched the original. Was it Summer Jam? I think it was. It was a good game. It pretty much what I thought would happen did happen, except for obviously the game didn't finish. I do think that Ty Lawson, and I've spoken to Ty, he has a really solid game plan. Obviously, I can't give too many things away because it's not really fair, I guess, as like a commentator. Whenever, you talk to some of the players behind the scenes, and honestly, some of the feedback I've gotten was just be timely about some of the information you reveal, because like you don't want someone to give you like their game plan and then you go blurt it online and they have their game in the next couple days. So Ty's got a game plan. I think it's going to be a pretty solid game plan, but Nesco's added some size. He's a bit stronger, but also just the conditioning that Nesco has is, I think it's really underrated. We went to the Detroit series and Nesco's game wasn't until like, I want to say like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. And we got there at like 9 a.m. Nesco was there. He was getting in reps. He was sparring. He got it full, like 2-hour workout in, and then he went and chilled. Like, I think he just like went and ate, chilled, whatever, until his game. Then when his game came up later that day, he was like definitely the most conditioned guy in his game. And it was weird because I'm like, this dude already did like a 2-hour workout out earlier. So I think Nesco's conditioning and continues to improve. And I think it's going to be Nesco's conditioning. And then it's going to be Ty's game plan. I think Ty has a really good game plan. We saw last time he was a lot more direct. Like, again, I talk about straight lines, but Ty just played efficient basketball. And I mean, he's a former NBA player. He knows how to get a bucket. He knows how to be efficient. It's going to be age versus youth, I guess. And it kind of depends which one you want to go with. Did Nesco learn a ton from their last matchup? Did he not? And is Ty's game plan that he has, is it gonna pay off? So I hate saying this. This is the one that's probably the hardest one for me, just because it could go either way. Obviously, it went down to like 1 point. I think it was a 1-point game, and then the game just ended. I think I'm going to go with Nesco. I really do believe that last game against Ty. Actually, hold on. If they officiate it like what Davo said, he said he wants the whistle to be a little bit tighter, just because he does want to encourage like professional players to jump in this space. If the whistle's tighter, I think Ty Lawson wins. If it's the same whistle as last time and they allow them to get physical, I think Nesco wins. Again, I think it's going to be a close game regardless, but I think if it's officiated closely, I do think Ty is going to win. So I'll stick with that. I'll just make that my prediction. I think Ty Lawson's going to win that game. Let's go to the next one that I think is, I'm doing these in order of, no, we won't do them in order yet. I'll order them at the end. The next game is Zay versus Bruce. It's one of those matchups that like I didn't know I wanted to see. And it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of like mixed reactions from like, some people are just like, oh, this is a friendly game. Like no one wants to see this, but this is exactly what we want to see. We just want to see everyone hoop. Like this is what everyone was complaining about, 3 weeks ago, is that the friends aren't playing each other and everyone's too friendly now. Lamar came into the space and really ruffled a lot of feathers, and now everyone's like, we just hoop. And one thing I like about OTD, and I haven't been in the scene long enough to know what other companies, what other programs are doing. But one thing I like about OTD is it's just like you got to reward the guys that are playing. And Bruce has been doing that. He'll take any matchup. You saw him call out Ty Lawson during that 2-on-2. Him and Lamar Peters just happened out of the blue. Like they were just talking, set it up on the day after they had both played like 2 or 3 games. Like, you need a player like Bruce in the scene, someone who's not scared to play anyone. But also a lot of people don't know, like, Bruce plays overseas. Like, he is an overseas pro. Bruce was a lockdown defender in college. Like, he's been that guy for a long time, but because he's played in the one-on-one space, everyone thinks he's just a one-on-one player. But Bruce, like, he is just a basketball player through and through. He's a bit older as well than some of the guys, so his IQ really comes through, and the way he plays is really fundamental. But he has his moments. He has his moments where he turns into Mad Dog. That's his nickname, but turns into Mad Dog. And when he's playing like Mad Dog, that's the top 10 player. That's the top 10 player that everyone's scared to play, right? When he plays like Bruce, it's like, which we actually don't see very often in this last couple months. He's been Mad Dog most of the time. When he plays like Bruce, I think he can settle. He finds himself settling for outside jump shots, mainly because he's trying to conserve his energy. Sometimes other players will get hot and they'll kind of snowball the game really quickly. But when Bruce keeps it close, when Bruce keeps it like, again, Mad Dog energy, he can go toe-to-toe with anyone. On the flip side, you look at Zay. And as everybody knows, he's been since the very beginning, very first game I watched him play. I think the first game I watched was Nas versus Zay. Zay's been one of my favorite players. When we talk about efficiency, like straight line drives, getting to your spots, win conditions. So if your win condition is to get 2 feet in the key and dominate that spot, Zay will do that for a whole game. He doesn't care. He's not going to settle for step backs. He's not going to play your game and go to your win conditions. He's going to play the way he wants to play, be extremely efficient. He just likes to win. Speaking with him too, he's been doing this for a long time. I didn't realize, like, he's been playing one-on-one like way before the cameras, way before there was like a one-on-one scene like this. He's been playing one-on-one for money for a long time. And it comes out into his one-on-ones. You see it over the last couple months too. He's been playing so many one-on-ones, a bunch of them that won't even be on camera, just because he loves to hoop. We obviously know what he can do 5-on-5 too. G League player. Like, both of these guys, Zay and Bruce, are professionals. This is something I want to talk about in this one-on-one scene. I'm tired of people saying they're not pros, or there's a difference between pros and YouTubers. I think the labels, you got to throw the labels out. This is just it's basketball. It's basketball. If you play competitively full time and you're paid for that, to me, you're a professional basketball player. You're not an NBA player, obviously, but you are a professional. If it's your job to play competitively and to win games, you're a pro athlete. These guys train like pros. They prepare like pros. If you talk to them after the game, like, they think like pros. They're thinking about what they can do better. The amount of guys that have hit me up to review their games or hit me up and ask for advice, not saying like I just know it. It's just they want the criticism, they want the critiques, they want to know what they can do better. People that are hungry for knowledge like that, I'm like, oh, you're an expert at your craft. These guys are pros. None of them get more pro than what Bruce does, what Zay does, and these guys are going against each other. And I promise you're going to see 2 professional athletes come out. They'll be friends before. They're going to go out there and play like enemies between the lines, and then they'll be friends after. But you're going to see 2 professional athletes going at it. I think Zay is going to win this game just because, like, Zay doesn't lose. Zay doesn't lose a lot. But I do think there's a formula to Bruce winning. And if you guys just watch that recent 2-on-2, if Bruce can get 2 feet in the key, if he can actually use Zay's game plan, I actually think it favors Bruce. If Bruce can just constantly get 2 feet in the key and use the little floater, little bump, get a little floater and dominate that area, I actually think Bruce has the advantage. Being able to do that for 30 points is a different story, and we know Zay can do that. So I've got Zay winning. I think it's going to be a close game. I actually think it's going to be a close game because Bruce always has a really good defensive game plan. So I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Zay. I think it's going to be really tough. But 30 points, it's tough to go against Zay for 30 points. So I got Zay winning that one. Next one I'll go to, let's go with we'll go with Lamar Peters and Javon. I hope I'm saying that right. JQ, Javon Quinterly, Jelly Fam. I didn't see this one. This is exactly what the space needs. Okay. I feel this could go a couple different ways. I think Lamar Peters deserves a top 5 matchup, but I don't think anyone in the space, nobody, deserves to get a pay-per-view off of like one of their first games, lose the pay-per-view, have a couple good games in between, and then get another pay-per-view against a top 5 guy. That's not to say Lamar doesn't deserve it. I just don't think anyone does. I think you have to show that there's a pathway to, if you lose, it knocks you down a bit, but there's a pathway to get back. So the fact that he has a pay-per-view is necessary, but I'm glad that it's not against a top 5 player, but now it also gives JQ a chance to come in and prove himself in the one-on-one space. So looking at Lamar Peters, I think I said this on my channel. I think by February or March, he's going to be I think he'll be top 5 by then. By February, March, I think he's going to be top 5. Talent-wise, I think he's a top 3, top 2 player. I think by February, March, he'll be in the top 5. And when I say that, I mean like solidified. Mark my words, I think Lamar Peters is going to be just the amount of progression that he's shown every single game. And when you see him in person, it's just a little bit different. There's some people that have like aura or energy when you're around them. Lamar Peters has that. And what I mean by that is like, he's got a goal. He's got a mission. It's not, he doesn't just go out there and hoop. I think that first pay-per-view, he just wanted to hoop, wanted to get back into it, didn't really care. But when he lost, I think that was probably the best thing for him because he's hungry and he's got ambitions. He's got goals. He's got things he wants to do. And you can't just keep losing games and reach the goals, reach the peaks that he's trying to get to. So if you hear his story, that's his story to tell, whatever. But, man, he's got an amazing story about getting knocked down and getting back up. That's what sports is all about. He's got an amazing story, but then watching him actually go out there and show it on the court. Like I said, first time I saw him in LA, I got there super early because I wasn't playing, so I wasn't worried about being well rested or anything. I get there at 8 a.m. Lamar Peters walks in at 8:05. Well, we didn't have to be there till 10. His game wasn't until like 2. He's there at 8:05, and he just went straight onto the squat rack. He's lifting weights. He's bench pressing. He's getting a full workout in, full strength and conditioning workout in before the games. This is after that loss to Scoob. And so you could tell how locked in he was. And then he played 3 games on the day. I think the amount of work that he's done in the last couple months is showing when he goes out there and hoops on the court. And I definitely think he's going to be a top 5 player. JQ is a little bit of an odd one, right? Like, I want to see him be successful. And I almost want him to come in and surprise everyone. Unfortunately, I don't see the pathway. This is going to sound bad or sound mean, harsh. I don't see the pathway to JQ coming into the space and playing against a player like Lamar. It'd be the same as playing against a Scoob first game, a Nas first game, a Zay first game, a Rob first game. I don't see a player coming in and just playing that in their first game head to head against one of those types of players and being successful. And I don't mean like JQ's not good enough. I just think it's one of those things you don't know how much you need to prepare. You don't know what you need to be ready for until you get punched in the mouth. Now, I've played tons of one-on-ones. I know JQ has played tons of one-on-ones. Everyone that plays basketball has played tons of one-on-ones. But when you're there in person and you're watching these guys go at it, you watch how physical they are, you watch how much they prepare, but then you have conversations with them on the sideline and you hear the way they think about the game, you hear the way they prepare, you hear how much time and effort that goes into it. It's a lot more than what you initially think when you just watch on camera. Like you can't get the full feel for it whenever you're just watching on camera. Being there in person, it's very, I'm telling you, the vibes are different. And also, sometimes these guys are standing around for 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours, not playing, not doing anything. And then, oh yeah, your game is next. And they just got to hop out there and perform. You don't get warm-ups. You don't get do-overs. You don't get a mulligan. You don't get back-to-back games to to get a feel for the ball. Like, you go out there, it's 30 points and that's it. If you lose, you sit out, you're done. Like, so these guys going out there are performing under a lot of pressure, and I just think it's a lot. And we'll see. JQ might go out there and surprise everyone. Everyone was a Jelly Fam fan when we were all younger. Like, the movement was crazy. I really struggle to see the pathway forward. I think Lamar is going to be way too physical. I think Lamar is going to be way too physical for JQ. I think skill-wise, I think JQ is going to be as good as anyone in the space. The handle, being able to get to finishing with contact, getting to the basket and being able to score the ball is not going to be a problem for him. The problem is stamina, strength, conditioning. And for all of you that have been following my channel, I think strength and conditioning and stamina, the athletic side of one-on-one is 50% of the battle. So if you are the better athlete, 50% of the game is taken care of. Then your superpower comes in. Are you an elite shooter? Are you just more physical specimen than the other guys? Are you elite at getting to the basket and finishing around the rim like Zay and playing straight angle? Like, everyone has their superpower. I don't know what JQ's superpower is going to be against Lamar, but we'll see how it goes. I've got Lamar winning. I don't think it's going to be a close game, but fingers crossed. I just don't think there's enough one-on-one film for us to fairly judge JQ, and I would be happy to be proven wrong, but I got Lamar by quite a bit. Last two games, we got the main event and the co-main event. These are going to be insane. I don't even know what to think. We got Frank Nitty, Uncle Scoob. This one, it's funny because Dev likes to instigate. Dev likes to build storylines. Sometimes there's not storylines. Sometimes, like, you're trying to force a storyline. It's just not happening. I like to just let the basketball go. The basketball will build storylines by itself. That's exactly what happened with Frank Nitty and Scoob. Like, watching that 2-on-2, I don't think that game has dropped yet, but watching that 2-on-2 with Frank Nitty and Scoob and just watching, like, the how aggressive they were to each other, the trash talk, and, like, it was real and it was visceral and they were going at each other. Watching how that game played out, like, you can't build a better storyline. And as that was happening, everyone was just like, should this be a pay-per-view? They got to play. They got to play. Can this be a pay-per-view? And it started just that day. That storyline built itself. So these are two ultimate competitors. Honestly, Frank Nitty is one of the first people in this scene that I even knew who he was. And not because of the YouTube scene, but I think every hooper knows who Frank Nitty is. Like, I had a friend that went to the same JUCO as me, and he played at Weber State with Damian Lillard. So he played with Frank Nitty. Like I knew who he was just through that. But then watching him, Drew League MVP, was it like four or five Drew League MVPs? He was the guy that was like he was the giant killer. He was the random, I say random dude. Again, we all know who Frank Nitty is and what he's capable of. But he was like the dude that wasn't an NBA player that would go on the court with NBA players and then be the best player. It was just, obviously he did all the J-Law runs. He, like, everyone saw the summer mixtapes and saw him in the Drew League and what he's capable of. The problem is, I think Frank Nitty's superpower is that. I think it's 5-on-5, and I think he knows how to win. He's a winner. He'll do all the extra stuff to win a game. You watch him in 3-on-3s, 2-on-2s. Like, he's the ultimate team guy. If he's got a good shooter, he's going to make sure he's getting 2 feet in the key. He's going to kick it out and find the shooter. He's going to set ball screens, get the shooter open. If he's got, I saw him playing with Nas, Frank Nitty just goes, I'll get every rebound. I'm going to give you extra possessions. I'm going to clear out. If there's an offensive rebound to be had, I'll put it back in, but I'm going to let Nas be Nas, and I'll do all the rest. I'll do all the dirty work. If Frank Nitty needs to score, then he's like, well, I'll be the scorer. I'll use all my energy for scoring. You be he'll just do whatever it takes to win. And he'll also massage the referees. He'll also take control of the mental game, which not a lot of people in this space are willing to do, but I've seen it. Chris Paul, you watch like Jason Kidd was good at doing this. Like LeBron does this. Like, you've got to be able to manipulate the refs, manipulate the fans. You got to manipulate all these things to give yourself a couple extra possessions, and Frank Nitty does that better than anyone. On the flip side, the one person that stepped to him and has said something has been Scoob. And the whole reason Scoob is one of my favorite players to watch, he's a dog. Like Scoob just hoops, man. Like the first couple games I watched him play, well, everyone that I first watched play, the first few games I watched, I was like, man, this guy's not good. I thought he was trash. But it was just like Scoob was just I say for the culture. That's what I call Scoob. He's for the culture. He would always do things that was like good for the camera. Like it was like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But then at some point it started to matter. Like winning started to matter for him. So it's like I can have fun, I can laugh, I can goof off, but it matters now. And so watching those few games, I got caught up really quick because as soon as I saw one game I liked of Scoob, I just we went on a bender on the channel. I watched like 6 games in a row watching Scoob. And yeah, one thing I liked is just he doesn't back down. There's games where I'm like, there's no way he wins this. There's no way he makes this shot. There's no way he finishes this possession. There's no way he gets this stop. He's the ultimate underdog. Every time you think he's down and out, like that's when Scoob starts. That's when he starts to gain power. We saw it again in the Lamar pay-per-view. Like when Scoob is down, when he gets punched in the mouth, like, oh yeah, I'm strong. He's like Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Like as soon as he gets beat up a little bit, like he's like, oh, I'm stronger now. Like I'm ready. This is where I want. Got him right where I want him, guys. So I think for that reason, like Scoob, he reminds me of the type of player you want to have on your team. If Scoob had nothing else, if he couldn't shoot the ball, which I think he's got to be a top 3 shooter in the space, top 2. If he couldn't shoot, if he couldn't dribble, if he wasn't athletic, you still want him on your team because he's going to hustle, give everything he's got. He's never going to give up. And he always thinks he has a chance to win. You want him on your team. Now, look at how polished he's become dribbling the ball, playing a lot more efficient, getting better shots, just doing what it takes to win rather than just trying to get the highlight or trying to get clips. Like he wants to win. Again, we've seen it in those 3-on-3 battles. We've seen it in those 2-on-2 battles. Like this guy's a winner. So this game, man, this is going to be a tough one. I think Scoob is going to win, mainly because I don't think I've ever bet against Scoob, but I think he's going to win, not because Nitty's 36, but because Nitty's letting everyone know he's 36. I think Nitty's already given himself ways out. So I think if it gets too tough, if it gets to a point like it looks like Scoob is going on a run, I think Nitty lets his foot off the gas just a bit. It's not to say he's not an ultimate competitor, but I think Nitty's game is not the one-on-one space. So he doesn't have a superpower to be like, nope, I'm going to dig down deep and I'm just going to lock him up. Like he is one of the top probably 4 defenders, 5 defenders in the space. But I don't think Nitty has a superpower for one-on-one yet. And again, I've only seen a couple games, I think 2 games that he's played. Whereas Scoob, like we just see his superpower every single game. So I think Scoob is more of a sure bet. If Frank Nitty came out and won, it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, biggest upset in the world, right? Like these guys, these 2 guys are both good. I think Scoob wins just because his superpower. He's the most in shape. He gets stronger as the game goes on. And I think this is going to be an ugly, messy game that's going to go. I think this is going to be a 2-hour game. I think this game is going to go on forever. Neither one of them wants to lose. And I think Scoob is just going to outlast. Like I think that's what it comes down to. I also think he has more volatility, as in he's gonna have a chance if he hits a tough 3. We just watched him hitting pull up, hesitation, logo 3-pointers in that 2-on-2. If he gets hot, like it can snowball really quick. Whereas I think Nitty, it's going to be a grind out win if he's going to win. So I got Scoob winning that. I think it's going to be close. Last match of the day, the main event. Nas Core, Isaiah Briscoe. Now, in all fairness, I've only seen 1 game of Isaiah Briscoe, and it was a big 3 game. I don't know how much information I can get from that. And then I saw some highlights. It was like one-on-one highlights. I hate watching highlights because it doesn't give you a full – I can't break it down. I can't break down one play and tell you what's happening. I need to see 2 or 3 4 plays in a row to really get a grasp of how someone plays. But watching the one-on-one highlights, it was not to the level that you're going to see Nas Core playing defense. I don't know if you guys watched the Bino game, Nas versus Bino, but he's playing up like he's a cornerback, and he's trying to jam the receiver at the line of scrimmage out of that triple threat, and he's going to eat up that space. it's not that I don't think Briscoe can't deal with it. Like, he's a pro. He's been in the NBA. He's playing big three. Like, he is a hooper. He's seen every type of defense there is. The problem is dealing with it for 30 points. Again, I think people really underestimate how in shape Nas is and what it takes to be in shape like Nas is. Like, it's not an accident, right? It's not like he just shows up and he just has the will to win. Everyone talks about dig down deep and he's got the will to. No, he's working on that. He's in the weight room building up his strength, building up his explosiveness. He's eating healthy. He's going for runs to build up his stamina. Like, this is not an accident. I don't know if Isaiah Briscoe knows what's required in the one-on-one space to be successful. I think he's got, obviously, like, we've seen him hoop, we've seen his highlights. He's got skill. Probably the most, honestly, you look at this card, he's probably the most skilled guy on the card. But just a lot of that skill kind of disappears in one-on-one, and it turns into straight lines. It turns into shoulders to the chest. It turns into getting knocked down onto the ground and having to get back up. That takes energy. Nas, when you hear him commentate as well, he talks about all these things. He talks about nickel and diming people's energy. He talks about leaning into people to wear them down, hitting them with the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, like doing everything he can to fatigue you a little bit more while he's trying to get the easiest shot. A little jab three. Then you play up too close. He's trying to get to the basket and save some energy where he can. I think Nas is extremely underrated for his IQ of the game. And I think it's probably because he doesn't get to talk about it often. I think he just internalizes it and he does the thing. I don't think he's not that he's not a great communicator of it. He just, like, he's playing. He's not doing a lot of podcasts. He's not doing a lot of teaching or coaching. He's putting all of his energy into playing. But you could tell his IQ for the game is extremely high. But then he has the skill, he has the strength, athleticism to back it up. I don't see, kind of like the JQ and Lamar match, I don't see the pathway for Isaiah Briscoe to win. And that's not to say he can't win. He's not capable. He's not good enough. It's just the one-on-one space is so different that if he won, I think it would be because either Nas wasn't hitting shots, like he had a bad game, or Briscoe was hitting a lot of tough shots. And when I'm trying to make predictions, I don't like betting on that. I like betting on 80% of the time who's it look like is going to win. I think it's Nas. I think Nas wins this one. And honestly, I think this game, I don't know if everyone else feels this way. I think this game is so big for the one-on-one space, like bigger than a lot of people are giving it credit for. Because if Nas wins, I think it really gives a lot of credibility to YouTube basketball. Again, these guys are pros. I hate that term, YouTube basketballer. No, they're hoopers. These guys are pros. But at the same time, like if Briscoe wins, can you think about the house of cards that's going to fall for all the YouTube basketball players? It's like there's going to be a new king in town, right? Like, oh, Nas got beat. Maybe Nas isn't as good. All the narratives, win or lose, no matter how this outcome happens, the narratives from this game are going to be insane. So I respect both. Actually, every single person that's on this card, I respect all of them for going out there. It's mano a mano. There's no one else to blame. You can't blame anyone else. You're out there by yourself, going in front of all these people. There's going to be thousands and thousands of people watching this game. And if you lose, everyone's going to talk trash and comments all over the internet. If you win, you're going to be the man in your city. So, and this is money. They're all playing for a lot of money, and this is their careers. This is their jobs. So there's so much on the line for these players. And we get to sit back and watch. I get to just sit back and watch. I don't have nothing on the line. I get to just enjoy. And we are living in the prime YouTube era of basketball. I really firmly believe that. The one-on-one space right now is insane. Like, there's so many comments that are like, OTD, Ball is Life are running it now. TNC is falling behind. And I'm like, no, I think this is what's supposed to happen. I think like OTD, Ball is Life is on a run right now. Like, it's a generational run. But what do you think TNC is doing? Like, they're looking and they're like, okay, well, maybe we got to do something. Okay, well, we got to, it motivates. Like, I guarantee everybody over at TNC is going to be watching this pay-per-view. They're going to want it to go well, because if it goes well, it's still good for them. But it's going to motivate them. It's going to motivate them to come back with a bigger pay-per-view event next time. And then if TNC comes out with a bigger pay-per-view event next time, hopefully they continue leapfrogging. And then there's all these smaller channels we've been watching. We've been watching all of Rob put out a video. We've been asking about that forever. All these smaller channels start putting out videos too. Everyone, what is it? Rising tides lift all boats. Like, I think this is great. I really do think that TNC, Ball is Life, OTD right now, I think them leapfrogging each other, working together, competing against each other, everything that's happening, I think it's good for the space. I'm not really affiliated with either one. I want all of them to do well. I think it's good for the space. Bringing Dev on, I don't know if you guys saw the documentaries, but oh my gosh, go watch those documentaries. I wish they were longer. I could just sit there. I could sit there and watch those all day. So good. Like, so many things that happen in this space. Really excited for it. You guys let me know, though. I know this is dropping late, but you guys let me know what your thoughts are. Have I hit the nail on the head? Am I far off? What are your predictions? You can do score predictions if you want. I don't really do those, but if you want, go ahead and drop those. And yeah, let me know what I miss. Let me know what could be better, and let me know what you guys want to see. I'll be commentating, so I'm excited. I'll be in the live chat too. So you guys make sure you get the pay-per-view, the membership, whatever. I'll be in the live chat in between games, chatting it up with you guys and see what y'all are talking about. So I'm excited. I can't wait. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the 8th, November 8th.